Welcome to Make It Pretty. Today we will be creating a custom journal page, the one you see right here. So let's get started. So we're using Canva Pro and we're just going to type in journal page. And it gives you all the options. And next we just scroll through and find the one we like. I usually like to make something very unique. So I don't start with a lot of presets. It's usually a blank page, but I did find a dotted page, which is going to save us a lot of time. So that's what we're using. And I just chose the small size and we're going to customize the template. And you can change the color of those dots if you want. I just left them black. And the primary colors we will be using are purple and yellow. So I'm going over here to the left and I'm looking for some text boxes. They have all kinds. I'm going to choose a pretty simple one. You may have to play around with a couple before you find the one you actually like, because some are limited as to how much you can stretch and manipulate them. So I tried this one and I really didn't like it because I couldn't stretch the sides. So we're moving on to this one, and I'm going to take the black edge out and make it purple. And we're bringing it up to the top. Also, be mindful of your margins. There has to be some sort of margin for the printer. So this one is working out good. And we're going to add some text. And that's pretty much the steps we'll use throughout this video. We're going to add text boxes and text and accents to make the page pretty. So I'm going through looking for a thin font. So it was automatically bolded, so I took that off. I'm going to make it transparent because we're going to be writing over this. So I'm going to put that on top of our text box. I made it a little too transparent. So I'm adjusting that. And be patient with yourself. You may have to play around to see what works. That may mean changing fonts, colors, the sizes of fonts, making things more transparent. Just remember to have fun with it. This is not supposed to be a chore. This is supposed to be fun. So next, I'm looking for an oblong rectangle because I don't want it to have pointy ends. I want it to have rounded ends. So I found this lavender one here. I'm just going to turn that around. And keep in mind, you can change the colors of something. So if you see a shape that you like, but you don't like the color, you can usually change it. There are some where you can't, but in this case we can. So that's what we're doing. And I am making this a little bit more transparent so we can see those dots, because those dots will be our guide for when we're actually writing on this page. Also, I think it makes it look pretty. I like when you see the dots on clothes, they're called Swiss dots. So I like that design. All right, so we're gonna make this a list of some sort. And remember, you can be as creative as you like. Change the fonts, change the colors, play around with it. This is yours. Make it as intricate or as simple as you want. Okay, so next And I'm doing a voiceover, so if you hear me pausing, it's because I'm trying to remember, like, what did I do here? Okay, so we're going to use these lines. Don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. So you can usually find something in the preset designs to use. But if you want to freehand it, you can do that as well. It just depends on how much customization you desire and how much time you want to spend. And I could actually change the color of these lines here too if I wanted. So we have those. Now I'm looking for something that says goals, and this one right here just happens to be perfect. I didn't even have to change the color. I like when things work out like that. So we're gonna put that there. So we'll use those lines to write down our weekly goals. So now we're looking for a little square. And I'm not sure what I'll probably use this square for. I might track like my water intake for the week. Or if there's something I don't want to forget, I might use that little box for that. But as you can see, our page is coming together nicely. All the colors are playing well together. So now we're going to decorate it. And I didn't want to make it fancy. I wanted to make it casual. So that's why I'm using the doodle flowers. And I'm just changing the colors of that to our theme, the purple and yellow. And then we're going to adjust the size of the flower and put that where we want it. Oh, this is looking very pretty. It's reminding me of springtime. You could do something more in line with fall colors like brown and orange or burgundy. Like Canva has so many options. And this isn't a sponsored video. I just love using Canva. It's very beginner friendly, user friendly. You're simply dragging and dropping. So we're going to put this little squiggly here. So now we need some little animals. If you've seen my videos, you knew that we were going to put some adorable animal on this page. And I am very fond of baby animals. So that's what we'll be looking for. And I'm trying to make this purple. And I don't know what I was thinking. The only thing I had to do was take squiggle out of that box to get the color options. But I don't know. I had a brain freeze. All right. So I'm just moving the lines around because it looks a little crowded up at the top. I want to be able to use that first line, and that goals piece was just a little too close to that first line. So I'm adjusting that, and I got to thinking about margins. I want everything to print, so that's why I'm bringing this down a little bit. And also I wanted to make a line for our date. You can do like week of, or you can just put date for like a single day. It's really up to you. So I'm just looking for a single line here. And I didn't want one with the bars on the end. So I'm using the simplest line possible. And I was trying to keep it in line with the dots, but it's no big deal. I don't know why it highlighted everything. And don't panic if you do highlight everything or something gets deleted. You have your friendly little undo button over there. And if you drug something out of the way, just drag it back. That's all. And I like that the alignment guides pop up every time you move something. That really helps so you keep everything looking really neat and sharp. So typing in the word date here. And we're going to change our font one last time. And I like this, it's just clean. All right, so we're dragging that up there. And this has come together so nicely. And Canva will print an entire book of these pages, but I like custom pages. So if I decide to do 3 or 4 of them, a week's worth, a month's worth, I can make them all look different. And I like having that option. So normally I won't choose the option to print with Canva. Plus it's just cheaper if I print it myself. So, but if you don't have like the capabilities to do that, like if you don't have a printer at home, or you don't want to use all of your ink on something like that, because ink is expensive, it would be more economical to let Canva do it for you, and they package it up nicely and send it back to you. So I'm just playing around with these lines here and putting some finishing touches on just to make sure everything is neat and aligned. And like I said, when I move those boxes, you see the lines come up showing you that everything is in line with one another. I think that's a nice feature. So that's it. Please let me know if you have any questions, suggestions, if you need any additional tips or anything like that, just leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I've already downloaded it. So next we're going to print it. So let's go over here. Here we are. Go up here and print. Make sure you have it on color. And I just have a simple printer, nothing fancy by any means. Not even fancy paper. I actually got that paper from, what's the name of that place? Pop Shelf. So it's like super thin. Alright, here we go. I wanted to print this for you all so you see what size things come out. You know, so you can kind of look here. Let me make this a little smaller so you can see the entire page. So when you look here, you see what it actually looks like once it's printed. Alright, so here's the finished product. Nice, huh? Definitely simpler than buying a whole printer. So I'm just going to tack this up on my little cork board and use it throughout the week.